but I just wanted to show you real quick what we're talking about here. And this is the Dismal Swamp. This is the area that we're talking, and then ends up in South Plainfield. We're talking about approximately 1,000 acres, and I say approximately because we're in the midst of a study to get an exact amount of acreage, because every time we look, we're kind of fine-tuning that number, but it's around 1,000 acres. And in northern Middlesex County, 1,000 acres of contiguous space is our Great Swamp. That's what we have left. Okay, so, and with that, and I also have handouts, and we can give you copies of the maps as well that we have that outline the wetlands and the floodplains and endangered species. And we've been doing a lot of homework to try to characterize the, we know the significance out here, but we really want to fine tune it to find out what's currently here. So we have a number of studies that are actually underway. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dave Wheeler to talk a little bit more about Dismal Swamp.
Thanks, Dave. We've been around since 1989, and we work in two main areas of the environment. One of them is getting contaminated waste sites cleaned up, which unfortunately is a huge problem across the state. The other one has to do with issues like the Dismal Swamp, our conservation program. We work in two major areas. One is the Lower Raritan River, and the other is the Dismal Swamp. And for the last decade or more, we've really taken the lead on trying to preserve the Dismal Swamp. And that's why we've reached this point now, with the help of Barnes and many others, that we need the state to really take a leadership role in this and recognize the Dismal Swamp as a regional and a state important resource, as opposed to something that's left up to the local municipal boards and planning boards. Our role is not only advocating for the Dismal Swamp, but we're also very much right in the middle of things there. Currently, there's only one public access entry point to the Dismal Swamp, and that's the Triple C Ranch. This is the only place, and we run the Triple C Ranch. We actually rescued it in the year 2000. Bob Spiegel, you can see the map and you can see pictures and everything else, but the reality is, until you get out there and see it firsthand, it's hard to picture just how important this resource is, particularly in an area as highly developed as northern Middlesex County. We realize the importance of this because of the fact that it essentially serves as a natural oasis. If you look at New Jersey as a whole, is the most densely populated state in the country by far, and along with some areas of northeastern New Jersey, northern Middlesex County has just about as many people per square mile as anywhere in the country. And the natural areas are hard to come by. There's only one sizable natural area left for hundreds of thousands of people living in this region, and that's the Dismal Swamp. That's why we call it the Everglades of central New Jersey, because when you go out there, you would have no idea you're surrounded by hundreds of thousands of peoples and miles of asphalt, strip malls, condos, all the typical embodiments of suburban sprawl. They make to walk the limited trails we have, to take eco tours, and then the other free public events that introduce kids and families to this area. People are amazed. They can't believe they have this right in their own backyard. That 5 minutes away from their house, they have an area that, in its beauty and its scenic natural majesty, really rivals some of the much more well-known places across the state. And we've also learned more and more about the ecological significance with each year. Right now, I believe some of the other groups here are going to talk some specifically, or may have submitted comments about some of the specific studies, and make sure that that the state can get involved and increase the levels of protection as much as possible. And finally, if I could just make one last point before I turn it over to Bob Spiegel, it's not a choice of the economy versus the environment as it often is portrayed in many of these cases. That's really a misleading comparison, because in our eyes it can be both, and it's been proven to be both across the state. The DEP itself actually has estimated that over $4 billion a year is spent on birding, wildlife viewing, and other outdoor-related activities in the state. That's enough that makes it the equivalent of a Fortune 500 company. And we've seen that now start, little by little, start to happen around the Edison and South Plainfield area. But our hope is that with the right plan and the right preservation commission, we can get an area just like the Meadowlands, just like Sandy Hook, and other natural areas that receive the attention and protection that they need. Thank you.
We would have a few modifications that we'd like to suggest that would make this bill tighter and that would address some of the concerns that we have. And I'd just like to take a minute to go through them.
I would ask you to imagine that you would be happy to do so.
Well, can I just mention two of them real quick, just to get them on the record, if you wouldn't mind, just take 30 seconds. Okay. One is the fact is that I would like to have address an understatement that we have, you know, instead of saying that this bill has regulatory authority, that while we can propose more stringent regulations, that we certainly can't propose less stringent than any other regulatory body, including NJDEP or EPA. And I want to make sure that that the committee can't weaken regulation after it's established, that we want to have more stringent regulation, not less. And then the second thing is that when you talk about the site being EPA, we're basically defining it as EPA priority wetlands. And the fact of the matter is that the EPA priority wetlands are actually a part of the Dismal Swamp, but certainly not the whole Dismal Swamp. And I'd like it to be the EPA priority wetlands, all contiguous wetlands with an 1,000-foot buffer, so that we have the entire Dismal Swamp and not just the priority wetlands, which are just a portion of the Dismal Swamp.
Let you work with the chairman. as you
Sure,
said.
thank you, sir.
I would be careful, sign, be careful as to what else you pull into it.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you both very, very much. It was very